Okay, welcome to another video. As I promised, I will show today really important stuff, really impressive stuff. Because I think history is the most important section of our life that we need to resolve, we need to explore. Because if you don't know your past, if you don't know where you come from and who you are, I think you cannot know of what you are possible. So here, I got a lot of images proving that there was white people, ancient white people in America before Anglo-Saxons came, before Spanish people came here. And we got this book here that is an exact description of the West Indies. In the dominion of the King of Spain. We got a lot of photos, North America too, faithfully represented by gent. I suppose this was an Englishman, was an explorer, and it's really curious because why all those paintings are showing white people? And by the way, they don't look like Europeans. Look at the ornaments, look at the clothes. So we are going to go more slowly. I took this from a guy that is called Viktor Maximienkov. Viktor is a Russian guy and has a really important channel in the Russian-speaking community. And because I know Russian, I can explain the context of these images. But I think all the credit should go to him. But as I know that he don't know English and he don't have English subtitles, I think it's important for me to show this to the Anglo-Saxon, Anglo-speaking world. So let's start here. This is the map of what was in the 17th or 16th century. Look at this map. So all the genius with masks of science, they are going to say, no, they didn't know how to make maps, so they did it wrong. But I think, look at Africa. Africa and Europe looks like the same. Africa looks the same that the maps of satellite maps of today. But look at North America. It's another thing. You're going to excuse me. I'm familiarizing with this kind of so well, I really like this band. Is named Fordham. I think the ambience is going with the subject of today. So look at this map. This map is totally different. Look at Asia. Look at China. And what is this continent in north? In the North Pole? Well, this was called Daria or Hyperborea. And we know the hyper means in Greek extreme, and Borea means north. So Hyperborea was this continent that is here. Now you can appreciate there were 4 islands that weren't that big, you know. I'm going to make a video. Next video is going to be about the catastrophe, of the 17th century, because there was a flood. There was a manipulated flood, because in the zone of Russia and Asia there was white people, and there were pyramids, and those pyramids maintained the electromagnetic field of the North Pole in rule. And we know who they are, the people that had made had occasioned this flood, because they have bombarded those pyramids, and I'm going to prove that in next video. But today we are going to see that not just in Russia and Asia there was white people. In the zone of China and India, I'm going to prove that in China there were white people. Also in North America and South America. So let's look this. These people is Spanish, no? These are the first illustration. Those are the first illustration of this English guy. Look at these people. They look white. Why? They look white, and they are not. Look at, they are white. Why? They are not wearing European clothes. So these people here are from the church, and we know who controls the church. The church. Because that nation had created Christianity and Islam, and I cannot say the nation because they are in power today, but a lot of us know who they are. Look at these people again. They look like Europeans. They are wearing European clothes, but these people is white, and they are wearing different clothes. Look at this image. This image, well, I say in a recent video about linguistics that the word magician comes from Russian or a Slavic language, Vedic language, and comes from magu, and magu means power. I have power, Yamagu in Russian. So look at the heads of these magicians, because those are the Mongols. No, Mongols. Is the folk that has power, the Mongols, Magu. And because of this, now in the movies they show that magicians has those kind of hats like Dumbledore from Harry Potter. So this is called in Spanish skifa, because that types of hats were worn by the Scythians, no? Skifa Scythians. And those hats are similar to the hats if you have been in Bolivia or Peru, the hats that are worn in here in Bolivia, because they have their hairs, the ears, and this thing here. So we can know these people, those people, share a culture with the so-called indigenous people of America. So white people have the same culture that brown people here. So look at this map again. No, this is North America, but we are talking about the 17th century. No, and we got here France, Nuremberg. Look at the names of these cities. Calicuas. Here we got a map of an haplogroup, of the haplogroup of European nations. Look at the similarity of Scandinavian people to Slavic people. We got pink here, and pink here, and pink here in Ukraine. So Ukraine and Russians and Finnish should know, especially today, that they are brothers. R1b. R1b is the blood of the West. But in the East we got R1a. And that type of blood is found in mummies in India, in China, and in Peru. Mummies of Peru, of Mayans, Mayan temples with mummies with R1a blood. So this is really curious, because how it is possible if Spanish people just found America 5 centuries ago. There were no Russians in there. What happened with history? Something isn't right here. We got also look at these pictures, illustrations. Look at these illustrations. They look white. Those peoples look white. They don't look brown. And there is a unicorn in there. Why are they drawing these fantasies pictures? Why they are doing that? And it's not so weird. Like, it's just a horse with a corn in the head. And those creatures lived in the 17th century. And we got a lot of other creatures that were living that moment before the flood. Oh. And here comes the subject of Tartaria. Many people started talking about that, and I think it's true. We are not confabulating. We are not. There are many proofs. There are photos of giants. There are photos of ancient cities in Russia. And we got buildings that had the first floor covered with dust. Because there was a flood. Here, that was the Tartar Empire, that were descendants of the Scythians, ancient Scythians, and are practically the same. Vedic people, Scythian people, Mongol people, Tatar people is the same. They are Slavs, and they were living here in America. Look at this. Look at the ornaments of the horses. This is not West European. This is not European. And there were horses in there. Horses didn't came with Spanish people, as they say. Look, we have here another map. No. And say India Superior. What is this? India Superior. So Russia was called to India. I thought it was just South Asia. I thought it was just this portion. What is happening here? This is a map from a book that is in museums. Here says map of Ptolemy. And says that there was an India in the north. Here we got more white people, more illustrations, more detailed now. Look at the clothes. This looks like Chinese, because those people gave the culture that Chinese people use today. The same clothes. And other nations are just using the creations of white people, the styles of ancient white people. These people living in India, China, North America, South America. And there were great cities in there. I'm seeing a white guy here. This is the hat of the people of Bolivia, of Peru, indigenous people from here. And this looks Chinese. This is from 1581. And says West India, America, West India. It's not that they confused India with America. There was a place called India. Here we got again a white woman. Look at this. This looks like the movie Avatar. You know how they know these books, and they make those creatures of avatars looking the same with the tattoos, and that is saved in our unconscious, so they get advantage of that. More white people. This guy is blonde. Another blonde girl. Look at the clothes. This looks Asiatic from Asia. Lot of people in India are wearing these types of clothes. Look at this. This can look also Asiatic. The ornaments. Well, the Scythians were a tribe that were really good with gold, as we are going to see right now. Because the Mayas were, and all the creators of these pyramids were in fact white people. And there is a German linguist that have discovered that the symbols that are written in the pyramids are in fact Paleo-Sanskrit. We know that, as I explained in recent videos, Sanskrit is an white people language. I cannot say Aryan, as we were called in that period of time. Aryan means noble, means superior. From here we got the word aristocratic. So he discovered that here there are symbols that are related with ancient Sanskrit, and he discovered what is called Paleo-Sanskrit. One of the best linguists of the last century. Here we got, well, this is the this is a symbol that is in the flag of Russia. No? And here we got the North Pole star that today is not present, because the North Pole star was an ancient symbol of the Slavs people. This is present in Asia, in India. Look at this. How it is possible? There were Indians in Russia, or Indians were in Russia, and they just make impact in their culture. No, I think it's the opposite. Russian people lived in the territory of what now is India. This is from the Aztecas in Mexico. No? And other symbols, those symbols are in everywhere. In everywhere. Because we were an empire before. I don't like to say empire because the word empire is related with the Greek like mercant power. And we weren't a mercant power, we were a nation. I'm sorry. Just a minute. Well, we got here all those symbols, why they are in everywhere. Why? And they like to say that they were like different nations, different races shared the same culture. But it's not that. It's that we were living in those places. And we created the pyramids. We and the giants. Our ancestors. Look at this. Again. White, blonde hair. Why he's having blonde hair? Blonde hair again. This is the god of the sun. Here we got people with beard. Mexicans doesn't have beard. Doesn't have beards. Again, they're white. Why they are white? You know, there are pictures of brown people and there are pictures of white people. Why then they don't draw all them brown if they were brown? It's because they want to take our culture, our past, our splendor. They are robbing us. Because they don't want us to know how powerful we are. Look at here. Beer. Beard. Indigenous people here in Latin America and Mexico doesn't have beard. They don't have beard. Rarely you can see. And maybe it's just a mix of another race like Arabs or something. Here we got blue eyes. Blue eyes. And look at the ornaments. This is beautiful. The Scythians were really good with gold. It's proof that there are lots of archaeological findings in Ukraine and in Asia where those people, even in academia, it is told that they were there. They cannot deny it because they can't. This is the 8th century in America. And by the way, I think history and Christianity has just 1,000 years, not 2,000 years. There are proofs that what I'm saying is true. Just have to look in Tartaria documentaries. Look at this. This is a magician. This is like a shaman. Again, 18th century back. In California. Look at this. I think it's pretty awesome. Why they are drawing all those people white? And I think it's because it's what they were seeing. Now I see we are this is a French guy illustration. So there were English people and French people, explorers, that were coming here and then drawing those pictures. Here. I got the fonts here. I got. You can go and see Cosmologia Miller, 1519, Florida. This is Florida. Go and check those books. Those books are in museums. This is a white guy. Look at the blonde beard. And they used to live in nature, hunting together. What a time. This is the king of Florida. Corol Florida. This is the king of Florida, again, 17th century. Cornelis de Jode, 1593. Look at how it was America right then. And look at here, we got Daria, Hyperborea, extreme north continent in Greek. I think it's pretty amazing. Look at this. And there was no ice in here. Why they are not drawing ice? Because there wasn't ice in that moment. No? 30 years after 1593, we are going to start seeing different maps because the catastrophe, because the flood was in the 17th century. Here we got, those are a tribe, the Wendat of North America. They used to speak the Huronski language. It's a dead language right now. And look at here. Here, this looks Europeans. This look white. This look white. Here, he look white. Someone tell me, I'm mistaken. There are indigenous people. Look at here. This is a brown people. And maybe they were friends. They have some wars, but maybe they were friends. White people here. Brown people. This looks like Mexican. But how these people are wearing all those clothes? Huh? If they are Europeans, they should be Christians. Huh? Why they are wearing all those clothes? Something isn't right here. I think you maybe are starting to be suspicious like me. Here we got this city in North America. Here we got Atlas Ballard. You can research for these books. 16th century. Surrounded by water. Here we got brown people. Or maybe they are not that brown. You tell me. Here we got white people. Look at this. Those people are white. They had beards. Look at the costumes. And this looks like, you know, if you went to, or if you go and see in the map St. Petersburg or Moscow, Moskva. Here says Stroenie как у Moskovskого Kremlia. Says that it looks like the Kremlin, and the cities are circular like Washington. It's the kind of cities that the Scythian people, Tatar people, Vedic people used to have. But we don't know anything about the history of the Slavic people. And they are doing all this investigation together and reaching the truth of their past. Because they don't know. They don't know anything. Here we got what is called, I'm sorry about this, La Gran Tenochtitlan. Look at the constructions in there. It looks like Atlantis because of the water. But those constructions are similar to the Russian constructions in the zone of Tartaria, Kazan, St. Petersburg, Moscow. Well, here we got the North Pole. And there was commerce in there because there wasn't ice. The ice came after. So there was commerce between the North and Europe in America. Look at the beasts here. Those creatures existed. Those dragons. There are dinosaurs that still exist to this day. The monster of Ness, of the Lake Ness, is a case. We got in Congo that there are pterodactyls in there. We got in Congo that there are monsters like the Lake Ness. I think in Mississippi too, in US, we got also another monster like that. This is really amazing. Look at this. Why they are picturing these people as white people. Look at the ornaments here. White people. This is in Peru, no? The Incas, Machu Picchu, All those structures were created by white people. And we have Perunia. Perunia was called back then. And we got the god, Slavic god, pagan god, Perun in Russia, and Slavic paganism. And Perunia is come from the name of this god, because there were Slavic people. Remember that we find here mummies of white people, no? Red hair, blonde hair, and have the same blood of the Ukrainians and Russians people of today. Look at the maps again. Look at South America. It was so different. The flood made all these maps to change in just 20 years. The North Pole disappeared and now is ice. Great catastrophe. Again, we got a magician, a shaman, white, again, Mexico. More white people. Look at this. Amazonas. Well, these people of Amazonas, when they started, when the problem was this, because this nation that hates us, our nation, that I cannot say the name, and that controls Christianism, and the Jesuits that were in Spain, they came here and started a complot against these people here. I cannot name too much what I want to say, because I cannot talk about my nation without having problems with the algorithms. So excuse me, and especially I am talking in English. It's not my native language. Those people have two options. They were from Peru to New Zealand, and there are proofs of this. New Zealand and the zone that is called Persia back then, no? Iran today. And other people were to the zone of Brazil, no? Amazonas. And there were giants in there. I'm going to show this right now. This was in 1757. 1757. Look at this. There were Anglo-Saxon Christians reaching North America when this was happening. Again, Peru, America. Why they are drawing like this? It's just they are making fun of brown people. Why they are not drawing? And in the book said the exact description of the American Indians. Again, look at this. The Indians here, the shamans here in Peru, in the zone of Machu Picchu, they are wearing like this. I've been in there, and I know they are just using our ancestral institutions, clothes, culture. They even use our languages. Look at this. The sun. Our ancestors used to adore the sun. Another white picture here. He's white, he has a beard. And this is a leopardo. Ancient Mexico. Chile. This was Chile, in Chile. 17th century. Chile. Maybe there were giants there. Look, there are white people here. White people. This is white people. Christians that were wearing all those clothes and doing all those rites and whatever. Why white Christians will do that? I think history sucks. Imagine if they just subverted all in 2020, all our reality with lies. Imagine what is history. Imagine that. Here we have brown people, white people, white people. Why they are not drawing all those people brown? Because there were white people in there. A white woman. This is a French explorer. Patagonia. The boss of the chief of the Patagonia. Maybe this is a float. Launedas. Južní America. South America. South America. Giants. Look at this. Giants. Gigantum Regio. Era the kingdom of giants. No, more giants. This is Greenland. Why it is called Greenland if there is ice? Why? There was no ice before. There was a warm and there was a good climate before the flood. More giants. Brasilia. Giants of Brasilia. Look at the dragons. Those monsters still exist in Congo. There are documentaries about that. Long documentaries of 1 hour that I used to spend seeing. But you know that it's true, dinosaurs. Because people believe in science, they are retards. And believe in the story of the fairy tale about the millions of millions of millions of millions of years. I think this is more reasonable. I'm sorry about the light. I didn't expect to be so dark, because it's not a good light for the camera. Well, more people here. This is here because like Torgove is commercial and Sutna is like route. So here we got ships. So there was a commercial route between Great Tartaria, that was in Asia, between Peru and Great Tartaria. This was 16th century. There were giants too in Peru. Look at the dolphins here. There are lots of stories of dolphins guiding humans. In fact, I've been in Amazonas in the river, and dolphins were guiding us. Pink dolphins. Really beautiful experience, one of the most experience with the sun and everything, sun coming down, pink dolphins in the river. Those are extremely great creatures, because look at in Greek we got the word adelphos. Adelphos comes from brother. Maybe the word dolphin comes from Greek adelpho. So they are like our brothers because they have emotional intelligence. I love those animals. Look at the maps here. Really different, the maps. And those were cities, megalopolis of white people. A lot of white people. The biggest megalopolis were in Asia, in what is known here for Far East Russia. There were the biggest cities of Tartaria before the flood. Again, more cities. This is Latin America. Paraná. Look at this. Peru was also the center of the white civilization in America. No? Maybe here, not that bad. But look at here, all those cities. We don't know nothing about history. I'm serious. Miller cosmology again. Peru. They were hunting. They were fighting between them. No? Look at this. Those animals are called llamas. I think it's a llama. And are present in the zone of high zone of the Andes in Peru and Bolivia. Here. Those are the mummies with not mummies, but the stages of reflecting blue eyes. Here there are lots of mummies. And as I say, there are linguists that are finding similarities between the symbols in the ruins here in Peru, and also are really energetic places. And they knew a lot about technology, especially about energy. And there are linguists that are finding Sanskrit. Sanskrit is supposedly an Hindi language. And we got here a lot of findings of symbols that are similar to the Sanskrit. And it's called Paleo-Sanskrit. More mummies here. Redhead mummies. Look at this. More statues with beard. How much do you want me to prove? Lots of proofs I'm giving here, and you have to share this video. I know that maybe my English is not that good, but I think I can do a good impact here if I reach more people, because people don't know nothing. And the best YouTube channels that are showing are really poor about proofs in these subjects. And I am giving proof. I am connecting the Russian word with the English word here. So it's really important that you share. You got Telegram, you can download this video and share in Telegram. You can download share in Facebook, Instagram. You got a lot of places that you can share. And people are really interested in these subjects. Again, we got more ornaments of masks in gold. This is a pagan festival in South America, 16th century. They were using corns. Are you telling me that people in Europe were just imagining all this? Are you seriously telling me that? Look at those corns. The flutes in there. Probably drinking ayahuasca. Look at this. We got the Spanish people. This looks Spanish. Those are Spanish people. Controlled by the Jesuit and that nation with big noses that I cannot say the name. Streccia columna carta. This is the meaning of Colón. Colón when reached America and was 200 years ago. No? And here says Kivsky Salato is like Scythian gold. This is really similar to the findings in Ukraine of gold. Of the gold in ancient Greece that was similar to the Scythian, because there were a lot of Scythians in Greece. Look at this. Really similar. They were really good managing gold. And these people look like Slavs. These look like Polish or Russian. They don't look Indians or brown. And look at the year. 19th century. This is in Peru. Lot of these structures were found in Asia. No? I think in Japan, Oceania, Peru. Why? Similar structures. Because there was a civilization here. Well, for those saying that the indigenous people of Latin America were the poor victims, here we have a drawing of a sacrifice. Here we got white. It's just the same that is happening today. They are saying that we are the bad ones and they are the good ones, and it's just... I mean, there are not good people. It doesn't exist. Nature is nature. But stop lying to ourselves saying that they were good or they are good and we need to be more good for they to be good to us. This is Mayan church or Mayan temple. Look at this. We were savages too. Look at this savage. White people. Probably he robbed the rifle to a Spanish man. I think they didn't used to use fire guns. Look at the corn here. And in war with another tribes of white people. Here we got, this is maybe this. Well, this shows like there were these people of this nation that was enslaving us. He has a beard and is blonde. And they are slaving between them. We got here the llama of the Andes. This was the Andes, I supposed, because this is an animal that is common here. Look at how they are drawing the same animal. And it's not present in France or in England. It's the same animal. It looks the same. Really well drawn. And look at here. This is a piece of art. This is a piece of art. Look at this. a woman was carried like a god by the slaves. Well, look at this. This woman has blue eyes. I don't think it's Photoshop. At least the facial characteristics are white, from a white person. Here we got maybe a mix, but this looks like Russian. Why, if they supposedly never, Anglo-Saxon never mixed with these people? No? Why she is white? South Dakota, Cherokee. I think they didn't mix, but I show photos, older photos than those, showing that there was white North Indian Americans among brown Indian Americans. These look white. She looks white. Девушка Cherokee, girl from Cherokee. Well, I think this video is really interesting. We are reaching the end, and maybe this can solve some of your doubts. And where there are so much ruins here that look similar to Egyptian pyramids, or why there are pyramids, and I'm going to explain all this in next videos, because I think it's really important. I feel that all my doubts about the history in America were solved by those books and those pictures. And a lot of people here say, Indian people say, that there was white people here before the reaching of the Spanish people. So I think it's necessary to you. I think it's necessary that you share this video, because I think it's important. I'm so sad about the quality of the camera right now, because I am in a hotel right now, and the lights are in everywhere. Those lights, I hate them, and I have to use the lenses and just ruin the video. Next time I'm going to do it with light, with sunlight. But look at all the photos, all the proofs I got here. And you're going to say me, no, they are not real photos. How much proofs do you need? So maps and books, this is a real photo, and there are white people in there. Books and maps that are in museums. Look at the artifacts, the beers, the paintings of the temples, the same animal here in Russia and India and Mexico. The maps. Well, people, I think this is a good proof for what I am saying, and I hope that you share, because it is important for you to share. I'm not doing this because I have nothing good to do. I'm putting my time here for awakening humanity, especially our people, our nation that have moral problems here. People are demoralized and need to know their past, because the times that are coming are difficult, and we need to know that we can trust ourselves, because we were conquerors. We were the only civilization in the world. Other nations took our cultures and our instruments, our music, and they had maintained it really well. But this is us. We are not Europe. We are the world. We were the world. So, see you next time. And I hope you enjoy this and gives you more strength. My friend, my brother, my cousin. See you next time.